Hello everyone, I'm Broughy1322 and in this video I want to explain a little bit more about how ads work on YouTube. So a couple of weeks ago I uploaded a video that basically explained how YouTubers make money, how much money they make as well. It was quite a difficult video to do, but there was a lot of support from you guys on it. But there were also, it seemed like, based on the comments that were on that video, quite a few misconceptions about how things work on YouTube in terms of advertisements, in terms of how YouTube Red is going to work as well. So I figured let's make a couple of videos about that and try to better inform you guys about what's going on, because I think it is quite an interesting subject and it's something that really should be talked about a little bit more openly, so you guys know exactly how these things work on YouTube and how the creators that maybe you like actually earn money and how that all works. So I've got all my notes here again, as I had for the previous video, but I'm just going to focus in this video on how ads work in particular on YouTube, and then future videos can cover different topics. So one of the main concerns that I saw when looking at the comments was people seem to initially, when talking about enabling ad block on YouTube, they seem to initially have not have a problem with the adverts on YouTube and they wouldn't run ad block on it. But then this mentioned that YouTube started to get a little bit more aggressive with the ads that they had on. Full 30-second unskippable ads at the start of videos, mid-roll ads in the middle of videos. So because of that, they decided, look, it's getting ridiculous now, I'll just put ad block on. But it's not actually YouTube that controls that. The creator themselves, all the creators on YouTube have full control over the type of ads that you see on their videos. So the different types of ads that you get are the pop-up ads, first of all, at the start of videos that pop up and you basically can click them off. There are the 5-second skippable ads, so you can click skip ad and get straight to the video after those 5 seconds. There's the unskippable ads, which are normally 30 seconds long and you're forced to watch them at the start of a video. And then there's mid-roll ads as well, so in the middle of a video you can get an ad and then you have to watch that 30 seconds before you can then watch the rest of the video. Now, it's up to the YouTuber what kind of ads are shown on their videos. Anybody can do this. Anybody can upload a video and find those advertisement options on their videos. But it is up to the individual YouTubers. It's got nothing to do with YouTube themselves. Now, my personal policy on that is that I never have unskippable ads on my videos. I only have the pop-up ads and the skippable ads. That's all I do on my videos, because I think that the content is more important. I would rather people just get to see that, and then anything that I sort of make from advertisements on my videos, it's just a little bit extra, it's a bit nice, but the content is my main focus. Now, how YouTubers make money from ads is basically all about clicks and watch time. So the more an advert is watched, then the more money that YouTuber will get. And also, if that advert is clicked, that will generate the most amount of money. So even watching an advert for 5 seconds at the start and then clicking skip ad, that will generate a small amount of income for that YouTuber because you've watched it for 5 seconds. Now, the reason that those unskippable ads are becoming more popular is because they are basically forcing viewers to watch for the full 30 seconds, and that generates more money. It probably, generates 6 times as much money as people who just skip ad after 5 seconds. So it is all based on the amount of time that someone watches an ad, and also whether they click it or not. So watching an ad will generate some income, clicking an ad will generate a lot more income, and those pop-up ads at the start, they only generate money if the advert is clicked, whereas the other adverts that are skippable and unskippable, they generate money when they are watched as well. So that's why those unskippable ads are a little bit more popular, because it's forcing the viewer to watch more of it. And I've never really thought about putting those kind of ads on my videos when it comes to the vast majority of my videos, but I have sometimes played around with the idea of putting those 30-second unskippable ads on on my testing videos, because obviously they are quite popular. They are what people want to see. So people are more likely to wait for those 30 seconds to see the video of the new cars or anything like that. But I just could never bring myself to do it, really. You know, I would rather just stick to having those unskippable ads and the pop-up ads only, because that way people get to see the content earlier. And for me, I don't know, I don't really want to take the risk of putting longer adverts on and people just don't bother to watch. So that's my personal policy on that, but every YouTuber is different. So if you decide to turn off ad block on YouTube to support creators, and also with ad block and these various things, you can actually whitelist specific channels if that's what you want to do. But then you go onto a channel that has a 30-second unskippable ad and then mid-roll ads as well in the middle of videos. That's the YouTuber that's done that. So it's not YouTube itself. That if you don't agree with that, then you are sort of disagreeing with that YouTuber themselves, not YouTube. YouTube has no effect on that. They just make the adverts available for the YouTubers to put on. And I've seen a trend recently, which isn't really that great, but the mid-roll ads, so ads where you watch half the video and then there's an advert in the middle, and then you have to watch that for 30 seconds before you watch the rest of the video. You have to have a video that is over 10 minutes long to be able to include those in your video. And a pretty stupid trend that I've been seeing recently is some creators making a video that's 10 minutes and 20 seconds long or something, just so that they can include that mid-roll ad. So it starts getting a bit ridiculous at that point, and that's when I can completely understand people putting ad block on those kind of videos, because it's just totally ridiculous that a 10-minute video is made an extra 20 seconds long just so a mid-roll ad can be put in, and you have to watch 30 seconds of an advert before you can watch the rest of the 5 minutes of the video. So yeah, every YouTuber is different. Every person on YouTube makes their own decisions about that. I've already told you my stance on that, but that is ultimately how it works. Now, something else that I mentioned in that previous video was about minimum wage. Now, that was basically just an example of just how little a YouTuber earns when they don't get a lot of views. Now, there are other ways to earn money on YouTube, not just adverts, and that's what I'm going to come on to in a future video. But I just wanted to clear up that, you know, the minimum wage thing, it all depends on how much time you spend as well. Basically, I just wanted that monthly figure to put it into perspective, how much a YouTuber earns compared to working a regular job in the UK, for example. But it does also depend on how much time you spend on YouTube videos. For me, for example, I spend a lot of time making my videos, so I probably earn per hour less than what you might think based on the amount of money that I get. But if someone was to get the kind of views that I get by putting in only 5 hours work a week, then they would be earning more than minimum wage. So it all varies depending on the type of stuff you make and how many views you get and how much time you put into making that stuff. But ultimately, I just wanted to clear up that it was just to sort of put it into a little bit of perspective, the kind of amounts that YouTubers actually do earn compared to minimum wage. Now, ad block. The ad block section of the previous video is probably, based on the comments and based on the feedback that you guys mentioned, that was probably the most shocking part of that previous video. Now, I don't want to make a video that's completely entirely about ad block. That's not the purpose of this video in particular. I probably wouldn't mind doing that. I am experimenting with these vlog sort of explanation style videos. If you want to see me ramble on about the positives and negatives of ad block on the internet in general, I would probably be more than happy to do that, but that's not what this video is particularly about. However, I do want to clear up a few things that were came from the previous video. So in that video, I mentioned that 27% of all of my views were monetized, 73% weren't monetized, which meant, and I basically said that means that 73% of the views that I get have ad block usage on them. Now, that isn't necessarily the case because some videos just aren't monetized. If you're in the US or the UK, chances are you're going to get an advert on every single video. If you're in other countries, it may not be as apparent. If you're watching on mobile, sometimes you can watch a video without an advert on just because there aren't any adverts to show. So it's not necessarily the case that the entirety of that 73% of views that aren't monetized is all because of ad block. But a lot of it is, especially based on the comments of how many people didn't realize that ad block affects YouTubers' incomes and how it works like that. It seems like a lot of people turned ad block off at that point for their favorite creators, which is great to see. But a lot of those unmonetized views come from ad block. Now, a regular video of mine, say one of the testing videos, which is shared around, people aren't necessarily bothered about me in particular. They just come for those testing videos to get a bit of information. They get around the same amount. 73% of views are not monetized. And you can understand that because people don't care. People just want the information as quickly as possible. They just have ad block on. They don't care about me on my channel. All they care about is just knowing the results of the testing. And that's fine. That's, everybody's different. That's totally fine. Now, that is a standard video that gets shared around. What I want to point out is that one of my GTA Live videos from before the video that I made previously about YouTube ads and ad block and all that kind of stuff, that got 28% of monetized views. So it was slightly higher. Those GTA Live videos get a lot less views than the testing videos, but it's really it's more likely to be my subscribers that are going to be watching them. You guys, obviously, probably the majority of people who are going to be watching this, who support me regularly. And that got an extra % higher non-monetized monetized views, because there's, people would rather turn ad block off for that reason, to support me. Now, a few people wanted to know whether that would change based on the video that I made, because the idea that ad block really does impact on a YouTuber's income seemed to get a lot of people to turn ad block off for their favorite creators. And a few people left comments wanting to know whether that would change in future videos. So I'll explain that here. Now, that GTA Live video, which was the Spending Spree Part 2, it got 6,500 views and 28% of those were monetized. The next GTA Live video directly after that, it might not have been, actually it wasn't directly after that, it was the next one after that, was the Relay Race Rant GTA Live video. That got 5,900 views, so pretty much 6,000 views, and 32% of those views were monetized. So it did actually have an effect, you guys who did used to use adblock, who watched those videos, decided to turn it off when you watched the previous video that I explained it all, and it did have a little bit of an effect. It's nothing. The fastest muscle cars video that also came after that video still was stuck at that 27% monetized views. No change in there, because it just goes to a much wider audience. But on my more regular stuff, I did see a 4% increase in the amount of monetized views, which means 4% less people had ad block running on those videos, which is great to see that you guys wanted to support me like that, and I really do appreciate that. So don't worry about using ad block. I know I talked a lot about ad block and how its impacts on a YouTuber's income in the previous video, but don't worry about it. I have other ways to supplement my income when it comes to making money off YouTube. I even have an adblock absolution option on my Patreon account, where someone can donate $1 a month, and that covers them for all the adverts that they would ever block on YouTube. I think $1 gets it gets you about 300 ads, in terms of income. So if you were to donate $1 to your favorite creator, you could run ad block all you wanted, and you would be helping them out more than just watching a lot of adverts. So that's why I have that ad block absolution option on my Patreon account for those who still do want to run ad block but feel completely racked with guilt about it, that they need to donate $1 every month. But you know, it ultimately, it doesn't really matter too much. There are plenty of other ways to support YouTubers. As long as you do something to support a YouTuber that you really like, you don't have to donate. It doesn't have to be monetary. Well, I certainly don't expect anyone to ever donate to me, or even turn off ad block. I just really find it nice that people do. But there's plenty of other ways to support YouTubers. You can like the videos, comment on the videos, make sure you subscribe to them, obviously. Share their videos around to other people, share it on Reddit, share it to your friends, all these kinds of things, because ultimately doing that sort of thing brings in more viewers who may not run adblock or may decide to donate or help in other ways. So that's, you know, it's not just necessarily all about money. You know, a lot of talk about YouTube is all about money, and that's obviously what the latest 2 videos that I've made about this have all been about. But you should never feel like you have to donate to anybody. You should never feel like you have to turn off ad block if you don't want to. If you just, for a simple reason, don't support that creator enough, that's absolutely fine. But if you do support the creators, it doesn't have to be a monetary way that you do that. You can do all of these different ways that help the creators that you like to grow and hopefully earn a living from YouTube in a sort of in different ways. So that's just something that I wanted to end on, really. You know, it's just any kind of support that you give to any YouTuber that you watch is massively appreciated, regardless of whether it's me or somebody else. You are the whole reason that YouTubers like myself can do what we want to do. So if you weren't watching the stuff, then we wouldn't be here doing it anyway. Well, I personally would, but I would just obviously not do it quite as much. So, you know, that's all I wanted to finish on. It's not always about money. Sometimes it can just be about leaving a nice comment. Obviously, likes and comments also help spread the video around, but even just having someone leave a nice comment, a complimentary comment saying that they enjoy your stuff, that makes my day. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope this has sort of cleared up a few things. I'm going to be doing another video about YouTube Red in a few weeks' time, to talk a little bit more about that and clear up a few other, make a few other clarifications about that. I'll leave a load of links in the description to all kinds of stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for the support, specifically on that previous video. It was absolutely amazing. I was so nervous about making that. It was kind of one of those where I had to just get it filmed and get it edited and uploaded all in the same day, because if I didn't, I probably would have bottled out and not put it up at all. So I had the idea in the morning to make a video about it, and I just got it all done in a day because I needed to. Otherwise I would have just not uploaded it at all. It was a pretty uncomfortable video to talk about. Money is always pretty uncomfortable to talk about, and especially when it comes to YouTube. But I really do appreciate the support that you guys showed on that. And yeah, that has prompted me to make this video and hopefully make a few other videos if this is something that you enjoy, explaining a few more other things as well. So let me know all your thoughts down below. I'd really do appreciate it. I would appreciate hearing your thoughts about these kind of videos and whether you like them or want to see more. And was it useful to you? Was this video useful in terms of explaining what's going on YouTube in terms of advertisements and ad block and all that kind of stuff? Leave all your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, if you want to do that as well, but don't feel like you have to. Don't worry. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it, as always, and I'll see you next time.